Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis for today, Monday. It's September 17th. First of all, I just want to apologize that I was not as available as I should have been for Thursday and Friday while I was in Las Vegas. I know that that was a crucial time in the markets and I wasn't able to be as on the ball as I usually am. So I really do apologize. And to make up for that, today's analysis is going to be the best daily analysis that you've ever seen in your entire life. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it so good that I'm never going to be able to live up to it ever again in my daily analysis from here on out. Okay? So that is my promise to you. And if you think that this is the best daily analysis that you've ever seen, leave a comment and tell me. If you think it's not, please leave your thoughts to yourself. Okay. That was a joke, but for real, let's get jumping because this really is going to be great analysis, and I think it's going to help you be more profitable over the next few days. Before we check out some of our great setups over the market, let's hit our news real quick. Alright guys, so as far as news goes tomorrow, first of all, we have pretty big pound news, and you're going to want to pay attention to that because I am going to show you some pound, euro, odd, all the dollar crosses I think have good potential. So we have pound news and euro news tomorrow. We actually have odd news tonight at 9. So all the currencies that I'm looking at have news attached to them. So we want to pay attention to those. Also, we have the Bank of England, which is going to be an interesting announcement, and that's tentative, so we don't know what time that's coming out. And then we also have New Zealand news, and then tentative Japanese news. So a lot of red tag stuff. The major stuff is probably going to be this London session pound news. I think this could really have an effect on the rest of the day, and also the London session euro news. So those are the two ones that I really think could have a massive effect on the market. But of course, anything that's red tagged can certainly shake things up. So we're going to want to keep an eye on all of that news, especially because it's New Zealand, pound, euro, yen, all things that we typically trade crossed with the dollar. So we want to make sure that we're on the ball with that. And I personally think that there's setups in almost all of those crosses against the dollar because the dollar is moving quite a bit. All right, so let's jump into our terms real quick before the analysis, and then we can get to the good stuff. And these are our terms, which you probably see every day and are probably pretty bored of, but it's important that you see them because we need to make sure that we are, following the government's rules so that we can continue to do what we do and offer you guys content and education and all the stuff that we do. So got to make sure that we're in line with what is expected of us. So if you need to pause the video to read those thoroughly and make sure that you understand what exactly we do, please do that. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into the analysis. Now I know that so far this has not been the best analysis you've ever seen, like promised, but it's about to get good. Alright, first of all, we have the euro dollar up, okay? And remember that this, I don't know if you guys remember, this break was something that we were watching for quite some time on the daily analysis. And I don't want to brag, but I was really thinking that if it broke this, it would really head up with a lot of momentum after that, and it really did. And this is the level that I called as kind of a magnet for price. I thought, this is a major level. It's been tested a lot. This is really going to pull price towards it, and price really did shoot right up into it. Now, where I was wrong was that I thought price would certainly struggle at this level, and I was totally wrong. It shot right through it, like 100 pips through it, no problem. So hopefully you didn't have your take profit there and lose out on 100 extra pips of profit on my analysis. If so, I apologize. But now we have some double top action, and it's not at a huge level, but there is, if you look back, there is some choppiness where price has struggled in this area before. And what I like about a short setup here is not actually that I think that the euro should be, fundamentally shorted against the dollar, but I like that this level has not yet struggled at all. It hasn't, there was no choppiness around this level, which is unusual for a major level. So what I'm thinking is that this level is at least going to get tested one time, which is what makes me believe that there's a high probability that this area is going to be tested and that this short is going to follow through at least down to that level. And so if you look at that, from current price, we're still about 80 pips away from that. So an 80 pip trade is nothing to put your nose up at. I think that 80 pips, depending on how you manage to trade, can make you a lot of money. Now, one thing to keep in mind with euro is that oftentimes when you're talking about the euro dollar, when the momentum switches and it goes from a long to a short or a short to a long, the euro dollar really takes off. So when you get these moves that go up and then down, that momentum really switches. So we had that down here. The momentum was down for so long, and as soon as this thing started building a base to the upside, man, it really moved up a lot. So anytime you get momentum switches in a pair like the euro dollar, I think they provide great trade opportunities because you never know how long these are going to go. And so this is not necessarily a momentum switch yet. It's just one double top, one tail. But it is looking like a short that's at least going to come down and test that. And anytime you get momentum built down, even if it is going against a major level, you never know how far it can go. So the fact that euro dollar moves like it does certainly means that it could break right through this level, even though I still think that eventually it's going to head up and go higher. So I'm thinking that euro dollar short is a great opportunity. I think that it's at least going to come down and test this level. There's high probability, in my opinion, that this level needs tested again before euro dollar does anything else. And of course, that's just my opinion. It's just what I'm thinking as I'm viewing the market, but it's what I would do and what I will do as a trader. Along with that, we have odd dollar. And odd dollar, to me, is an even better opportunity than euro dollar. Let me show you why. Alright guys, so this is odd, and you can see that there is a major reversal playing out right now. And the reason I like odd so much is that odd has shown a lot of weakness over the past few months. You can see that this bearish leg had a lot of momentum headed down. What's great about the odd is that we got a retest right up into this peak level and a total reversal. So one thing to note is that this is not just some baby reversal. From the time it hit this trend line to where it is now was 165 pips of reversal movement. And note, not only is this a bounce right off our previous trend line, but it's actually also a horizontal level. So you can see that in our horizontal level, we have this key level here, and also a lot of choppiness here, and this level here. So we have a horizontal level mixed with the trend line level and reversal price action. You know what that tells me, guys? That tells me short. And this is one of those trades where oftentimes you're going to short because it's a great signal and it's going to crush you. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. That happens a ton. But it's also an opportunity where all of the signals are lining up. Odd has been weak before and it's continuing to be weak, and dollar has nothing to do but get stronger because of how weak it's been. So if you catch it at the right time, at the reversal point, the opportunity is really endless. Right here, in my opinion, is a great area to target. And just to give you another pip count, from where price is right now, that's 280 pips. So that's some serious movement. And by the way, we caught this one pretty early on the copier, and we're in actually all the way up here. So we're already up about 65 pips, and we're targeting a net total of about 330 pips. So we're already up around 2% on that trade, and looking for a lot more. And so my opinion is that odd dollar is an even better opportunity than the euro dollar for short. Number one, the odd has shown more consistent weakness than the euro by a long shot over the past few months. Number two, there's a more sensible target, whereas the euro is in an uptrend. There's steps, support is coming sooner. The odd has about 300 pips before there's any major support that I see, or that I would consider major support. There's other levels before that. Obviously, this is one here, but this is the first one that I'd consider major support because it's a recent turnaround in price. And you always respect, recent levels before past levels, even though past levels still are significant. Okay, so I'm not gonna beat around the bush with this one. I'm thinking as far as odd is considered, short. And I'm not saying that because I think there's no probability that this thing is just slight pullback and a continuation, because that's very, very possible. But I just think with the technical signs that are lining up, the key levels that we're looking at, this is one that provides a good risk-reward ratio, good momentum, and it's worth taking a try on. And again, that's what trading is all about. It's finding the setups that are worth making an attempt at, because there's so many setups you can find in the market. There's tons. Things are always bouncing off critical levels. Things are always moving in trending directions. This is always happening. You'll always find a time frame where there's a setup, but it's finding the setups that are consistently worth risking your money over. And isn't that the idea of trading? It's finding setups that are worth risking your money to make more of it. And so, of course, the odd can reverse and just take you out in a heartbeat. But in my opinion, it's a setup worth risking my money over because of all the things that line up and are pointing me in the downward direction. And so that's my analysis on the odd. I think that there's momentum moving upward from this recent leg, but overall, there's a lot of downward potential here and a great target down here at the 102 level that I think is worth taking. So that's the odd. Right now, it's moving with a lot of reversal momentum, and 9:30 p.m. news tonight is going to really tell us whether there's going to be more continuation on that or not, of course. But I'm thinking that a lot of times the fundamental stuff does line up with the technical stuff. The news lines up with what's already happening in the market. Not always, but often, and that's what I'm expecting with the odd tonight. So I know this is more bold than usual, and I don't want you to risk your money based on what I'm saying. But I'm not only predicting the odd to head down, I'm thinking that there's a good probability that the news is going to be bearish for the odd tonight as well and actually accelerate that movement. And that, again, just my personal opinion, and it could be totally wrong. That's how trading works. But that's really what my expectations are for the odd. All right, guys, hopefully this is the best analysis you've ever heard so far. Let's move to the pound dollar, another great setup with the pound. Now, the pound is the setup hasn't really happened yet. Okay, whereas the euro and the odd have already reversed, the pound is coming right up. Let's pull this down so you can kind of make it look like it's into the resistance already, but it depends on how you look at it. But we have this major level here. Look what happened to price last time. I mean, you talk about a drop, guys. This is 950 pips in a heartbeat. That's what can happen when momentum switches. So I think, although pound is definitely the strongest of the odd euro pound, I think pound is the strongest, yet I think that pound has the most potential for momentum change because of that very reason. So right now we're at an incredible leg up on the pound, and I would not suggesting short on this whatsoever. Nothing in me says this is going to be a short. However, if we get a bounce in this range, and this is kind of a zone, it depends on how far you want to pull this down, but if we get a bounce near this area and show reversal momentum, I think this is going to be a fantastic short opportunity. Not only is it going to be an incredible momentum switch because of all the pound strength and the dollar weakness that's given us this incredible leg, but we're going to have a great target. Look at this. All the way down here is going to be our most sensible target for a pound short. And talk about a target. I mean, you talk about getting on with a great target. You have 530 pip target, and the most your stop loss is going to be is probably 50 pips. Okay, guys, that is a great trade opportunity. That's what trading is all about, taking advantages of these opportunities. Again, something that's worth risking your money over because there's such good potential in it. And that's what I think the pound dollar can provide. Not providing right now, but can provide if there's more reversal signals. Right now, all we have is a lousy tail that could easily be nothing. So we need a better signal. There's no doubt about it. But if the euro falls and the odd falls and the dollar gains strength, guess what, guys? It's probably coming to the pound too. So those are the opportunities that we'll be looking to take advantage of, that I'll be looking to take advantage of. And hopefully, if you're a trade copy member, if these momentum situations do continue, you'll be seeing a lot of money being made on the U.S. dollar strength for however long it lasts. That's our goal, and I think that's possible. What's ironic, of course, in trading is that the dollar weakness has been what our bread and butter has been over the past 2 weeks because of all this momentum. But it's the very same thing, or it's actually the very opposite thing that can make us money, because when the dollar has been weak for so long, it provides such a great opportunity for reversals because things are just higher than they ought to be. And that's exactly what I'm looking at, hoping that there's some dollar strength here that can give us some trade setups. Already happening on the odd, looking pretty good on the euro, and if it happens on the pound, man, I would just love that setup. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of. Those are the three pairs that I really want to focus on. I could go over the U.S. again and some other pairs, but I've already gone about 15 minutes. I just want to really focus on these three major pairs: the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and the odd dollar. And keep your eyes on these because they can provide some incredible opportunities, both in risk to reward, momentum, and how quickly they can earn you pips. Because when something reverses that's already this high, it can go down just as quick or even more quickly. If you catch it right. So, guys, that's what I want to focus on in today's analysis. I'm not even going to waste time going over any other pairs because I'm focused on these major currencies that are paired with the dollar right now. And until something happens with them, I'm not even worried about any other pairs on the market. U.S. yen is also there, but there's not nearly as good a trade setup there. So that's what I'm focused on today, guys. Hopefully you're watching those three same pairs that I talked about, and I hope that you're going to get a great trade setup on one of them and be able to take advantage of the momentum switch in the market. Of course, if the momentum doesn't switch, if it switches back and US dollar becomes even weaker, then we're just going to have great breakouts to the upside beyond even our previous levels, which will give us even better signals. So I think the market is setting up great, and I hope that you'll take advantage of it. I plan on doing so. Hope you enjoyed this analysis, and I'll talk to you soon.